There's 3 essential steps to nail your first pitch of 2020 PR Kickstarter is brought to you by my Hack Your Own PR program. My 9-week publicity course is designed to teach small business owners how to be your own publicist and secure headline news. The program is held real-time, online, in intimate groups of like-minded business owners. It's supportive, strategic, and damn good fun. Registration's now open for my February program. Hi, I'm Odette Barry. I'm a publicist and marketer and owner of Odette & Co. Now, nothing makes me grin more from ear to ear than helping my clients secure their own media coverage. Now, over the last 10 years working in communications, I have learned a thing or two. And one thing that really struck me is that small business owners have incredible stories to tell, and they don't always have a huge amount of money to spend on PR budgets. That's why last year I wrote the Hack Your Own PR program. It's designed to help small business owners tell their own stories through media coverage. Hack Your Own PR teaches you how to become your own publicist. Now, the program is designed to save you thousands of dollars, exponentially build and grow your trust and visibility, and it only takes 9 weeks. It features real case studies of client coverage that I've secured and examples of previous students who have secured their own coverage thanks to these learnings. The program consists of 1 session per week. We walk hand in hand through how the media landscape works, and I'll show you how to do each of the items to secure media coverage. That's media bios, media pitches, researching angles, and just some of the etiquette to ensure that your pitch is received with welcome arms. There's no time wasted. It's super high value counsel and it's sleeved rolled up. There's a lot of work to do in it. I run 4 programs each year and I would love to invite you along to my next course. Through the program, you'll have access to expert industry interviews with some of my favorite journalists. You'll have access to media opportunities and contacts. I'll put you forward for opportunities all the time. And I'll teach you how to uncover any of those blocks that might stand in your way of creating viral media headlines. So before we begin, what is PR? Look, PR is part journalism, strategic communications, advertising and marketing, all mixed in together. And a publicist's job really is just to pitch your story to a producer, journalist, or editor. We don't book it in, we don't pay for advertising. It's all about aligning your story with that of the outlet. Through my program, I'll teach you the simple steps to save on agency spend so you can DIY your pitching yourself. Have you ever wondered how brands skyrocket in growth and seem to become that twinkling star of success? Often their rocket fuel is PR. It's that hidden lever that rapidly creates visibility and makes an unknown name a familiar, trusted brand. If you're sick of grinding on social and spending on advertising, not necessarily seeing results, or you know that if you stop spending, then the leads will stop as well, it might be time to consider PR so that you can become known as that go-to product or the go-to expert when the media comes knocking. Public relations is such an amazing and powerful tool for small businesses. My next Hack Your Own PR program is going to begin in just a short amount of time. This 9-week online program can be done from anywhere. You can do it online, but it's real-time calls. Nothing is pre-recorded. The course is designed for small business owners and marketers and communicators who are interested in upskilling. You'll learn how to write a media strategy tailored to your specific objectives. You'll discover how you can leverage your story from your why. You'll understand how to cement your story into your business offering and determine who and where your audience is and how to speak to them. You'll learn how to craft a media bio, media angles, and prepare a media kit. And of course, the most important part is building your confidence to speak about your business under the spotlight, because it doesn't come natural to everyone. But I promise you, there's some simple hacks that will help you step forward with confidence. Throughout the whole 9 weeks, you will receive personalized advice and feedback at every step of the program. In the middle week of the program, you have one-on-one counsel to tease out your strategy and any blocks with me. If you sign up for my Hack Your Own PR program by the end of this PR Kickstarter, I'm offering a little bonus. You will get a free one-on-one session valued at over $250 that you can use at the beginning of the program or further down the track when you secure an opportunity. So let's get started on my PR Kickstarter. We're going to cover all the steps that I follow every day in my PR pitching that will make sure you nail your first pitch of 2020. So step 1 is to work on your self-confidence. So we're going to build that ahead of sending a pitch. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Public relations is an absolute hack. You don't need a media relations agency or a journalism degree. You don't need to have worked in an agency or pay those crazy agency fees. You don't really need any particularly special skills. It's something that anyone can do. That's why I created my Hack Your Own PR program, because I truly believe that anyone can DIY their PR. It's not rocket science. It's not overly difficult. And I have simplified all the key steps. I've mapped out the exact recipe that I believe small business owners can and very much should do to nail their first pitch. So the ingredients are as follows: a cup of self-confidence, a quick audit of your media readiness, a good old-fashioned dollop of research, aka reading the news or listening to your favorite podcast, add a pinch of personalization, and dial in the confidence for a killer media pitch, and follow my roadmap to meet media headline success. So I want to touch on first, before we begin, on a little myth busting. Now, I know the pattern of thoughts. You see a competitor or peer appear in the media headlines and you think, wow, they've really got their shit together. They know what they're doing. They're so much more qualified than me. They're further ahead. But the truth is that pretty much no one completely knows what they're doing. You have to realize that everyone is just about winging it. To appear in the media headlines, you don't need a little black book of contacts. And you don't need to be the most qualified expert. You don't need to be a celebrity. You don't have to be the smartest person to exist on this planet. And you don't have to have published a book to be considered a thought leader. So the thing that gets in the way of small business owners when it comes to pitching their story and totally bossing every other element of their business is their own self-confidence. I've seen it time and time again. Businesses that thrive are pretty much always led by people who are willing to put themselves forward as the expert, to hustle and put their reputation on the line. There's a real difference between those that put themselves out there and those that might sit on the sidelines, those that might be waiting for the media to come knocking, or who wait until they're 100% ready, qualified. They're the ones that miss out on the opportunities. The experts who show up on the project, the morning show, or your favorite podcast, the thing they won't tell you is that quite likely they pitched their story and they asked for the coverage. I would say that almost 50% of media coverage is generated by an expert or product seeking the coverage, not the journalist or producer just discovering them. Sure, bigger brands who have established themselves will often be fortunate to, receive inbound media requests. But in the early days, I can assure you, they would have been sending exactly the same sort of media pitches and making those same awkward phone calls that you've got ahead of you. So here's the thing. Pretty much no one is born with limitless self-confidence. If someone appears to have incredible confidence, they walk into the room bubbling with chatter, or step onto a stage and nail a presentation, show up on a TV segment or record a video, it's quite likely that they appear more confident from the outside than they truly are. Often when they will be appearing confident because they've been working on it and building up their confidence over the years. Confidence is something that I recommend everyone work on, because in the challenging world of business and life in general, it can get a bit of a beating. The early stages of business are loaded to the brim with self-doubt and imposter syndrome, but I promise it does dissipate over time, and with a little work, it disappears even more quickly. My advice to clients who are struggling with their confidence is to just put yourself forward for almost every opportunity. You don't have to be perfect. Just throw your hat in the ring and don't wait to feel ready. Instead, work on your fears and worries, nourish your confidence so that you're ready to chase down opportunities and say yes to everything that comes across your radar. Every time you have a crack at it, you're going to build your confidence. You want to be chasing things down rather than waiting for them, to sit on your wish list for the rest of your life for when you're going to be ready. My advice is, if you're not feeling confident, say yes anyway. The easiest way to conquer confidence is through repetition. Just do it again and again. Just keep kicking the ball against the wall. We often expect to be self-confident at all the things, but how can we be if we've never tried a thing before? The problem is that too often we give up after our first failure. In business, that simply isn't an option. We have to keep showing up, and each day that we show up, we build our confidence, we slowly refine our skills and capability, and eventually that confidence grows. When it comes to PR, I will admit that it feels a gazillion times easier to pimp out my clients than it is to pimp out myself. It can feel really, really awkward and weird writing fabulous things about yourself. We have been raised in a tall poppy culture where we self-depreciate and often play down our successes. But on top of that, we also have our inner critic of self-doubt that constantly tells us, some of us, that we're not good enough. But here's the thing. If you've got happy customers, if you know your thing inside out, if you love talking about what you do and how you do it and how you're changing the world, if your product is interesting, unusual, or new, if you have a personal story that speaks to your why you do what you do, then you're ready for publicity. When it comes to PR, we are in the market of celebrating your wins and successes in order to secure coverage. So it's time to rewire that ingrained thinking, to lean into your alter ego, the super confident and fabulous one, and just have a crack. I can almost guarantee that it will never get less weird pimping yourself out, but you will get a little bit more used to it. There are a couple of key steps that I recommend lining up before you fire off that first pitch. Number one, build up your self-confidence. Then undertake an audit of your digital footprint. We don't want any loose ends. And then we're going to research a little bit more, prepare your media assets, and then we'll fire off that pitch. So today we're going to talk about mindset and converting imposter syndrome into media confidence. This won't happen overnight, but it's something that we can work on every single day. So here's my 5 steps for building up your self-confidence. And I love this quote from Maxwell Maltz that I found online, that low self-esteem is like driving through life with a handbrake on. And the last thing we want in business is to have a handbrake on. So number 1 is to work on that confidence muscle. Some people born oozing with confidence, damn them, and others like me, we need to build on it. So wherever you start in the scale, know that you can work on it. You don't have to be the most experienced expert, but you do need to sell yourself. So you have to build your confidence so that you can, at the very least, sound confident even while you're working towards believing it. Now, the second thing I recommend doing is determining what your blocks or excuses are. Everyone has a story to tell themselves, that thing in their head where they tell themselves they're not good enough, that they're not ready to do the thing before they can start the thing that they need to do. So listen to your excuses or your roadblocks that you put in your own way when you think about, why not now? It's time to go hard on that inner critic. Break down your excuses and find solutions. Now is the time for action. Now, one thing more than anything else for me that builds my confidence is research. The more prepared I feel for an opportunity or more informed I am, the more confident I am. So I really recommend refining the areas you would like to be considered an expert. Choose 2 or 3 subject areas and go deep on your research. Prepare yourself so that you know all the ins and outs of your industry area. Practice and research are the ideal way to build your confidence. So you have all of the stats, the figures, people of interest on hand when it comes to writing up a pitch and preparing for a media interview. Now, another really handy tool, I use many different techniques when I'm feeling really nervous, but visualizing yourself in a position of confidence is awesome for transforming your mindset. Now, it might sound like a bit of a daggy approach, but it is super, super useful. I personally use anything from power poses, deep breathing techniques, and visualization to build my confidence ahead of a speaking gig or an interview. So with visualization, it's basically about preparing your mind for success. Instead of focusing on your nerves, try to picture what it looks and feels like when you have succeeded in your media coverage. We really want to rewire those neural pathways so that they are built for confidence. If you do a little visualization exercise every single day, you are going to set yourself up for success. Think to yourself, how will it feel when you've succeeded in your media coverage? How does it feel and what does success really look like? I'm sure this one will help you. And look, another little helpful tool for building your confidence is to set yourself up with a confidence buddy, someone who will keep you accountable. Tell a friend or a business buddy what your mindset goals are and what you're hoping to achieve in your PR. As soon as you speak these words and concerns out aloud and tell someone what you're hoping to achieve, you will immediately have someone to help you stay accountable and on track when that self-doubt kicks in. So that's a wrap on day 1. Tomorrow we're going to walk through undertaking a digital audit, preparing your media assets, and I'll provide a checklist of what you need to be researching and preparing ahead of your media campaign. And remember, if you're loving this content, please let me know on Instagram, tag me at Odette & Co and share the love. And if you're ready to supercharge your business in 2020, my first Hack Your Own PR program kicks off in February, and I would love for you to join me. If you do sign up before the end of the PR Kickstarter, that's the 23rd of January, you'll score a free private mentoring session with yours truly. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for day 2 of the PR Kickstarter.